What's up, everybody? So,
I said that.
Thursday.
It's Thursday.
At noon.
It's noon.
Which means you are tuning into Behind the Boots.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
What day is it also?
Wilco Media is where you found us. What day is it?
Yeah.
It's a special day.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone has off.
No.
But I have it off.
I have it off.
And it's...
no complaints.
It's kind of your day.
It is.
Yeah. And it's a lot of your day. It's Veterans Day.
It is Veterans Day.
Yep. It's a day that we celebrate 10% off Applebee's.
Which makes it all worth it. those 4 3-quarter dinner options they have, all worth it.
Tell you what, you've listened to us for 33 episodes up until this point.
Yeah.
Because you're a loyal booty. And you deserve to take yourself out for a free meal from participating restaurants on today. But in reality, it is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
It's a day that we honor all those who chose to serve their country. Specifically, it was during a time of war, but it's kind of anyone that's raised their right hand and served their country.
Yeah.
It's part of the triad of days.
Which
where
include?
we have Veterans Day.
Of course.
Then there's Armed Forces Day, which celebrates those that are still serving actively in our armed forces. And then there's Memorial Day, which celebrates and remembers the fallen who gave their lives in service to this country. So the triad of days. But this day is about those that just said, fuck it.
Fuck it.
I want college.
I'm not doing anything else.
I'm going to jail, so I might as well do this. Or up until, I believe...
I just knocked her up, so I got to get out of state.
Yeah. Or up until, I believe, like 1974, they were forced to join.
That's true.
Didn't have an option.
Yeah.
So thank you for your service.
Yeah,
thank you for your service.
Yeah. Thanks for not crossing the Canadian border and saying yes.
It's actually a very unique year for Veterans Day as well. It's the 100th anniversary of the... you can't say naming of, but the identifying of the individual to be laid in the tomb of the unknown.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, crazy story, Veterans Day originally started from World War I at the end of it. It was called Armistice Day, and it was the day that the war ended. And actually, it was the 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th day, which is fucked up because... they decided this the night before. We're going to stop the war, but let's do it at a certain time tomorrow. Yeah. So people were still
murdering
dying.
each other. Yeah.
Still for
the next 24 hours.
It was like hundreds of people still died from the time they chose to
but if they didn't do that, then they wouldn't have a cool way to remember it.
It's right. It's right.
So
that's true.
You take the good with the bad.
I think, unfortunately, the last U.S. person killed died at it was like 10:59.
That actually sounds about right. Yeah.
Fucking horrible, right? But anyway, they created this day, Armistice Day, and then
let me just say, whoever killed that person's a real go-getter.
Yeah.
Because
seriously,
they had 1 second left.
Yeah, there's actually a crazy video. I listen to it. I'm kind of a nerd like that. I listen to it every Veterans Day because it pops up.
He said kind of a nerd.
There's a video or an audio file that is literally the moment the guns fell silent in France at that time. You can hear it. It's recorded. You can hear
That's pretty awesome.
Everything. All of a sudden, it just stops. And it's like, then slowly like a bird picks up. That's
wild.
Cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet. But, so they decided to celebrate. And it's not only just celebrated in the United States on November 11th. It's celebrated kind of all around the Allied world.
Yeah.
Britain, England, France celebrates Remembrance Day. But it started in 1920. There's a really good book about this. They wanted to celebrate all of the fallen because this is the first time in U.S. history that we had lost soldiers overseas, really, that couldn't come back a large amount.
Right.
There's a ton of unknown because they just fucking were obliterated and just died in no man's land. So they pulled 4 remains of U.S. soldiers from 4 different cemeteries in France, brought them into one building. They did like all this huge ceremony, and they had one guy who was like a sergeant who served in France. He went in and he picked the body. They didn't tell him where they all came from. They all mixed them. They had this like whole thing. He picked that body, those remains. They reburied all the other ones, and they sent those remains to Washington, D.C., and then on November 11th, 1921, they buried those remains in the unknown, Tomb of the Unknown.
It's pretty wild.
And they've done that ever since.
Yep.
And then what's actually crazy is they were able to identify the person from Vietnam.
Oh, no shit, right?
And they actually removed the remains and identified him. And buried. But it's just a crazy story. It's a 100th
He got
anniversary.
evicted.
Yeah, got evicted.
He got evicted.
Yeah.
We know who you are now, so get the fuck out.
But yeah, crazy story 100 years ago.
Have you seen the change in the guard? You've seen the change
I
in
have,
the
yeah.
guard,
Yeah, I have some friends that did it.
Oh, really?
That were tomb guards. It's pretty crazy. Yeah,
That's
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all very steeped in tradition and
Yeah.
all around the number 21. And yeah, pretty crazy.
It's a great number.
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
Which is like, I think things like that are what creates the persona that people who haven't served take on. Like that's what they see, so that's what they think the military is. But what the military really is the shit we talk about.
Yep.
Exactly.
We have a time and place for that other stuff, but majority.
I'd say about 98% of the time we're talking about shit, piss, and boners, probably.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because my first segment is Diarrhea Diaries.
Oh, but before that, we're celebrating, right? We're having libations. We're celebrating Veterans Day.
We are, which also causes diarrhea, but yes.
Yes, and we like to have libations. Oh, there's a stink bug on my drink.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Let's flick it this way.
Put him over there.
Oh, that was a weak-ass flick.
Anyway, I didn't want to hurt him. So
He looks pretty dead already.
well, he probably had a little bit of my drink.
Yeah.
So this is a repeat local company. I guess you could call it a brewery, but they do ciders only from local apples.
Distillery? Like, do you still distill cider? Or do you still brew it?
I guess I don't know, smash it. I don't know. Anyway, it's Stormalong Cider. They're from Leominster, Massachusetts, up there in Johnny Appleseed country.
It is.
Which is where the apples come from. And this is their Happy Holidays, and it's a holiday spice cider because we're in the middle of November, starting to get into the holiday season, and it's fucking delicious.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even think it would be good, like, warmed up a little bit.
I was just going to say that,
It's
warmed
good
up
cold,
with some, maybe some, lemon or oranges, tossed in there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But it's good. It does taste like apple cider, like spice cider.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Brings me back. When I was a child, we used to have Christmas parties at my father's house every year. And every year my stepmother would make a big-ass fucking kettle of hot cider. And then, the adults could put in, whatever alcohol they wanted.
Fireball is the key now. Cinnamon.
Well, they didn't have it back then.
Yeah, I know.
But,
Rumple mints.
But yeah, it tastes the exact same. It's fucking great.
Yeah, we had a party, I guess a year or so ago, a fire pit outside for COVID, and had a huge thing of cider and a very large handle of Fireball. People were adding more and more, and it was delicious.
It's delicious, man.
Yeah, I come from a place that's known for its apples as well in Washington State. Big apple.
I heard that. Yeah.
Big apple country.
Big old apple country.
Although we don't cider it as much out there. I feel like that's a real New England thing. Like apple cider is a big apple cider donuts.
The donuts are really good
when they're hot.
Yes.
And the little ones.
You know who else is a real big apple state? Michigan. Believe it or not, there's a ton of apple orchards in Michigan.
I don't doubt it. I guess, but that's the thing is you think of apples, but we're really I walked into Wegmans today or the other day, one of the best grocery stores.
Local grocery store,
yeah. And it was definitely you could tell it was fall because there was 17 different types of apples, and they had
something else.
They had a chart, and they're this one tastes like this. This is good for this. And you're I guess it depends. I really think about it, where you're from, the different type of apples and shit. So
yeah,
it's good.
We do have a good selection of apples around here.
Yep. Yeah, but back to the poo talk.
Back to shit.
Which is what if you eat a lot of apples, a lot of apple
diuretic.
cider,
It's diuretic.
I think it's a diabetic.
Nope, it's not diabetic. It's diuretic.
Diuretic. Yeah.
Yep.
That too.
Makes you poop.
It does.
And it's good at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good at making poop. So that's what we're going to talk about in this first segment. We're going to talk about not apple poops, not specifically, I don't think, but
not apple bottom jeans.
No boots with a fur.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about some poop. Okay, so PT test, lap 5 or 6 of 8. I said, fuck it. It's just a little diarrhea. Which I love how he just goes right into it. Second sentence, no backstory or anything, just fuck it. It's just a little bit of diarrhea. Finished and kept running up to the gym. People asked, and I told them I shit myself. Got made fun of for a little bit, but fuck it, I passed. I have almost shit on the floor during a piss test, though. I don't wear boxers or underpants, and I just drop trow because fuck it, I like making people feel uncomfortable. Which is true. Like, you'd be surprised how many people, when you're doing a piss test, just fucking completely drop trow. Mm-hmm. Which, respect. I was pushing real hard, which is a mistake. Then I turned around, looked over at my observer, which, if you don't know, when you take a piss test, to make sure that you're not adulterating any of your sample, there's someone who has to look at you take a piss.
Yeah, and what's funny is that civilians, I've had to take like a lot of random drug tests for like my civilian job, and that doesn't happen. They're like,
no, because they're very uncomfortable.
Yeah, like here's the cup, go in there, do this, close the door, don't wash your hands, don't flush, don't do this. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah.
When I was an observer, I held it for them just to make sure. I wanted to feel it coming out.
Yeah, and you make sure it's 98.6. It's not just someone else's urine. It's cold.
Exactly.
But they pick people from your unit to fucking observe you pissing, and it's pretty uncomfortable.
I can tell you what almost every male dick looks like from almost every unit that I've ever been in.
Yeah, Andy never did.
Looking back on it, I probably shouldn't remember that, but. All right, we'll talk about how many dicks I've seen and what the shapes and sizes were. I turned around to look at my observer and said, "I'm going to shit." I pulled my pants up, walked into the stall, and continued pushing and pissing. He was just like, "Get the fuck out of here." "No, you're not." I said, "Yep, I am." I think I lost a Soldier of the Month board because of it, but fuck it. When you have to shit, you have to shit. Which, I've never shit during a piss test, but I've had to observe someone shit during a piss test. It's not illegal to do.
No, it's not.
As long as the door's open and you can see.
Yeah, here's the thing, though.
Here's the deal.
And I specifically went to the piss test school, so I didn't have to be a watcher. I was the one running the paperwork.
I did that later on. I didn't do that till I was like in E6.
Yeah.
So I had a good
observer duty before.
Right. I had a good maybe I wasn't E5 for very long, maybe 3 years, where I was looking at dicks, and then after that I was handling piss.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But the rule was for me, if you got to take a shit, that's cool, do it. But you're going to wait and then piss again. Like, I'm going to make you wait.
I get that. I also don't want to be there all day. And I know that no one can shit without pissing.
Yeah,
That's science.
It is. But
listen, it was on Bill Nye one time, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was.
That
was my rules. So.
No, sorry, that was Pornhub.
I also feel like you can control it a little bit. Because
you can piss without shitting.
Usually when we did piss tests, it was for PT formation anyway.
Yes.
So you weren't shitting anyway. Like you weren't gonna have that option.
Don't tell me when I'm gonna shit.
I won't. But you haven't eaten yet. You ain't had your coffee.
Sometimes when you wake up, there's just no stopping your shit.
And these guys are so ingrained with the time of the day. Like you shit after PT, after you fucking, you work it out. Literally.
I get it. You can definitely...
Wasn't happening.
You can definitely piss without shitting, but there is that
up in here.
one Well, there's that one instance every now and again where there's just, listen, you can't prairie dog liquid, okay?
Fair enough. Maybe you took a little too much no explode, and you're like, okay, yep.
That's been a thing too.
Then you shit red.
You do shit red. Fucking Christ. Story number 2. I didn't shit my pants, but I pissed myself the first day of basic. Wasn't used to the Oklahoma heat, led to drinking a lot of water. A genetically small bladder led to me asking my drill sergeants to go to the bathroom a lot. One day I counted like 16 bathroom trips. Eventually, we were in formation, and I didn't want to break it to go to the bathroom. Couldn't hold it anymore. Spent the rest of the day in the piss ACUs until I could hide them in my wall locker until laundry day the following Sunday. Luckily, no one noticed and were distracted making fun of the guy who actually shit himself that day. Talk about hitting the fucking Jeopardy. Not the person who shit themselves and pissed themselves, but the other people. That's pretty rare.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you try to wash those in the sink after hours and then let them dry?
That's also a great question.
Do you know where my mind goes? Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where your mind goes, I'm like, that's a weird place to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very fair question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just wanted his wall locker to smell like dirty pee pants, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Gross.
It's not good.
Urine is one of the smells I just...
Especially if it's been there for days.
Yeah. Oh, such a fucking rough smell. Yeah. It's the ammonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like basic training. I mean, I'm not just basic training pee, but like any like time where you're like, you're not drinking anything else really but water. Right. But you're also like expelling all the salts and like everything.
Yeah, because you're sweating a lot.
Yeah, it's just fucking...
Basic training. He said ACU, so it was recently. He wasn't like he was going in the 60s where it was like you could go to basic training in like Fort Devens, Massachusetts. Like they had colder ones, like in our climate. It was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think pretty much the only place that has basic training now, the Army, like they do have it in places like Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I'm assuming it's probably fucking balls cold. Just
during the wintertime, yeah.
But like I think the Navy probably has the coldest in the Great Lakes.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But they're probably never outside. So
well, yeah, if it's below 40, then it's too cold. Can't be outside.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then they're on a ship.
I wonder if Space Force is going to have their basic training.
Probably on the moon, right? Makes sense.
Probably. Mars?
Something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
How are you going to be called Space Force and then have it on Earth?
It's true.
Is that false advertising?
I think so. Maybe they can do it at Epcot.
Epcot.
Space Mountain.
They're just going to have Jeff Bezos fucking shoot him up into the sky for 30 seconds and then come back down?
Salute. All right, parade rest. Attention. Okay. Congratulations.
That's all. That's the only thing they can do in their fucking trip up to the sky is that. Anywho, story number 3.
Send it.
One of the soldiers I work with shat his pants at NTC a few years ago. He was a driver, and during the start of an area recon, he told his platoon leader he had to shit. The platoon leader told him that it was too late and to shit and just to hold it. 5 minutes later, he screamed, "Oh God," and the entire striker filled with the smell of cheesy diarrhea.
Oh.
Which is... Diarrhea itself is not a good word, but when you put the word cheesy in front of it,
yeah,
that's not a good image.
What kind of... Oh, never mind. Nope.
They immediately stopped the striker, donned pro mask, and evacuated the striker. Upon inspection of the front of it, the shit leaked through his pants and covered the entire driver's area in rancid bacon cheddar cheese looking diarrhea. So I'm assuming he had bacon cheese spread in his MRE. They made him change and passed him off to the first sergeant as a real-world casualty. Grabbed his poncho and used it as a protective layer so that the next guy had some protection from the now smeared regular cheese MRE shit that was 25% wiped up.
Ew.
25% wiped up is not a great percentage.
It's 75% not wiped up.
The majority of the shit was still there.
Yeah. Ew.
Gross.
Ew.
Gross.
Yeah. Ugh.
Strikers aren't the most ventilated machines either.
No, also probably not the easiest to clean out. Like it's like gonna get in the crevices in the floorboards.
There's so many nooks and crannies to get into. Unless you take a pressure washer to it when you get back, like whoever's continuing on that mission as a driver, like I'm sorry, dude, like that is probably the worst thing you've ever done in the military.
That's another smell is like fresh shit. Right? Not old shit. Like fresh, brand new,
fresh bacon cheesy shit.
Yeah.
Not good.
But then you get a smell, you're like, oh, it's been, oh no. Yeah. Yeah, it's the smells that you can taste that you're like.
Yeah. I actually tasted it when I read it.
Yeah. I was picturing it. Yeah.
What?
I don't do, like, I'm not a big bodily fluid kind of guy.
You don't like people taking dumps in your chest?
Nope. Don't like that. Don't like pee. Don't like vomit. Nope. Can't handle it. I had a high school job where I had to clean up vomit at a summer, not really amusement park, but there's like a place that had rides in a downtown, like municipal park.
Right.
And just vomit in the summertime after like people eating cotton candy.
You can just put the sawdust on it like the janitors do?
You do, but then you have to clean it up because it's usually at a ride. You have to clean it out of the ride and just like just the fucking smell.
So what, is the sawdust just make it easier to sweep it up?
Yeah.
Like, is that what it is?
Like it absorbs it. It's like throwing that shit down on like when like you have like a diesel spill and you like throw the stuff down to like
speed dry.
Yeah. It's fucking gross because you have to like
you just kick dirt on it and call it a day.
Yeah, spray it out of the ride because when people throw up on a ride,
it goes everywhere.
Yeah, because it's moving. Yeah. And usually people are so, like, I'm more comfortable with people that are like, or I was more pleased with people that are like showcase vomiters that are just like projecting it out. But most people tuck their heads.
Like they know what they're doing.
And throw up down into them and like into the seat.
Because they're embarrassed.
Yeah. And they don't know what they're doing. Like the greatest thing that you can do when you throw up, your day's ruined already, right? Like you're not hanging around a park after you throw up.
Well, it depends if I feel better.
Yeah, but usually in that case, you don't. You just like, it's not like you were sick and you threw up and you got rid of it. This is like you just caused it. So
that's fair.
You need to like throw up in your own shirt, contain it for yourself, and don't fuck with everybody else.
I disagree with that. If I can not get it on myself and everyone else gets the brunt of it, I'm cool.
But you're going to get it on yourself when you're moving on a ride. It's inevitable.
Okay. Right? But the less I get on myself, the better.
True. I'm just saying for everyone, which is the rule in airborne is like if you're going to throw up on the aircraft, you throw up down your own shirt. And if not, I'm going to make you throw up down your own shirt. And then I'm going to throw your ass out of the aircraft.
That's fair.
Yeah. Don't do the body smells. Ugh.
This is a little quick hitter, and I added this in here just for you.
Did you know? It's all three. Vomit, urine, shit.
Exactly. I was running once. Couldn't find a bathroom and shit my PT shorts. He goes, I'd do it again.
Yeah,
because when you're airborne, you have to train your legs so well that when you hit the ground hurts.
That's all he said?
That's all he said.
I don't get that.
I don't know. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I just feel like he was semi-proud of shitting his pants. No one else was.
And he was also humble bragging that he's airborne?
Yeah, that was a humble airborne brag.
Yeah, but when you're real airborne, you don't have to humble brag about it. People already know.
That's why I added it. I figured you'd have something to say about his airborne brag.
Well, he's probably a supply guy. So
that's true. Everybody gets to go through airborne now.
Yeah, but I had a squad leader or team sergeant or team leader. I'm sorry, who shit himself on a run, but he managed to veer off out of formation and get into the wood line. Shit, come back missing one sock. Did it again.
For wiping.
2 socks. Yeah. So like, control yourself.
Which is a very fair price to pay.
Yeah, and socks are good in a hurry because you can stick your hand all the way in it and wipe and pull away and pull the sock off as you're doing it. And it's
just don't wipe too hard because they're very porous.
Well, it depends on what kind of socks. I mean, if you're a sergeant, you maybe spend a little bit more money on socks, so you might have a little better.
That's true, but those PX socks aren't the best.
If you're Joe, you're buying the fucking 12 pack for fucking $3.99.
They don't even like curve; they're just fucking like
straight.
A rectangle. Yeah, they're just a long
no
white rectangle.
Right.
Exactly. It is what it is. Yeah,
just a sock.
Yep.
You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Mix and match. It doesn't matter. A sock.
Exactly. And they eventually turn yellow when you wash them with your shit.
And they eventually lose all their elasticity.
Yep.
That's the typical PX sock.
Exactly.
The PX brand. So I've seen it happen, but have a little bit more pride in yourself, Airborne. Reach up in there, pull the liner left or right on your silkies, release, airdrop, release the liner, keep going.
Yep.
Okay, don't do it in the pants. Let's go, man. Come on, have some pride in yourself.
He said he'd do it again.
Well,
it's just a weird thing to say.
Yeah. Duty.
It's a weird thing to be proud of.
Yeah.
I picture this as being his only story to tell his grandkids when he gets older. He didn't really have anything going on in his military career. Mm-hmm. He just, the only thing he can tell him is he shit his pants.
Mm-hmm.
I could do it again, too, if I could do it.
If I could do it again, I'd do it again there, Jobs.
But that's a couple of stories of shit.
Well, you know what stories I will be happy to tell my grandkids about?
No.
My Barracks Party stories. Okay.
Yeah, not so much my kids, but my grandkids.
My grandkids.
Yeah, because at that point, who gives a fuck?
And it's when
they're not my problem.
Grandkids are hopefully I have them. B, hopefully I'm around long enough for them to be like 18, 19, 20, so I can share these stories with them.
I'm going to share them when like they're 6.
Yeah.
I want them going to first grade.
Grampy's weird.
Yeah. I want them going to first grade show and tell and just
Grampy had friends called strippers.
And bringing my PT shorts that I've shat in.
Yeah, which will be museum pieces by then. So we have a segment we call Barracks Life.
We do call it that, yeah.
Okay. I feel we've done as a military, when I use the word we, it's the royal we, all of us, have done a disservice to our young men and women right now because we haven't given them the opportunity to really enjoy the barracks because they've been too busy fighting our wars for the last 20 years. And as those wars have ended...
How is that our doing?
I said we, as in the military service. It's a royal we. It's what we do. Okay. Bear with me here.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to be going back to these barracks life and not really understanding what to do.
Good wordplay, by the way.
Yeah.
Good job.
You're welcome. And we need to have this public service announcement. We need to help them prepare to have those barracks parties because they may never had it because they're too busy fighting wars and fucking prosecuting the war on terror to the bad guys abroad.
That's true. So listen up, folks. This is the PSA.
This is a PSA. This is how you do it and where you do it. Okay? Well, obviously the where is the barracks. But this is the top 8 ways to throw an epic barracks party.
Go on.
Okay? So, this is the only time in your life where everyone around you in your living situation is exactly the same as you.
Exact equals.
You are more than likely not above the rank of E3.
Yep.
Maybe a couple newer E4s, but by this time, probably those guys are moving out.
They're probably married dependent by now.
So, you have money. Okay, because your housing's paid for.
I was going to say everything's paid for.
Your food's paid for. Your healthcare's paid for.
if used defect, food is paid for.
Yeah, if you do it right.
Yeah.
So, okay. On the weekends, on the weeknights, you can have social gatherings known as the Barracks Party. But don't just grab a six-pack with your buddies, play some video games, and call it a night.
Sounds dumb.
No.
Sounds really stupid.
Yeah. Fucking go epic. Okay.
How do you go epic, Bobby?
First thing, have a theme.
I like themes.
Themed
parties are the fucking best.
Automatically
The
create
best.
a culture of awesomeness.
Yes, they do. What are your favorite themed parties?
Oh, okay. We've had a couple different ones in my time frame, depending on the time of year. Okay. The location, obviously you can go back to the old school toga party because you have. Well, when I lived in the barracks, you were issued sheets and you were issued blankets. If you wanted your own, you could buy them.
Right,
But you were still given the mattress cover, the sheets, the army wool blanket, the pillowcase, all that shit, right?
We still wear as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect togas. Okay? Just don't damage them because you got to turn them back fucking in.
That's fair.
So toga parties obviously easy to do. Okay? I like the gladiator theme. I like, if it's even politically correct these days, the pimps and hoes.
I don't think there's anything more politically correct than pimps and hoes.
Yeah, where it's role reversal. The women dress like the pimps.
Hell yeah.
Guys dress like the hoes. Okay.
I also like the wear anything but clothes parties. So you wear like trash bags or fucking sheets or anything.
Pajama jam.
Yep.
Okay.
Pajama jam's a good one.
We also did these, not so much in the barracks, but you could incorporate this into the barracks very, very easily. We would go to either like a Goodwill or a Savers, depending if you're Northeast, wherever you're from, right? And you would either do a 10 for 10 or a 20 for 20. You had, we'll say the 20 for 20 for colder weather. $20, 20 bucks, you had to purchase your entire outfit.
It's actually easier than you think.
It is.
Yeah.
We're talking footwear included.
Yeah.
So 10 for 10 is where it really gets...
10 for 10's hard.
Yeah. But a 20 for 20...
Especially nowadays.
...is pretty fucking epic.
Yeah. Can't afford shoes? Go barefoot.
Yeah. Other one that I like too from these is if you have to do a Goodwill or a Savers, do a formal party.
Ooh.
Where you have to buy a jacket, dress, whatever.
It's all fucking mismatched.
They're so fucking rad, though. So rad.
It's so fun. Those things are so
rad.
fucking fun.
We did it one time. We were all TDY for a school. It was a bunch of guys I was in SEER with. And it was, where we were at, though, was one of the guys was from there, and his mom was visiting him. And so we all went to this local bar, but we'd all gone out to the Goodwill to go break our going out clothes.
Yep.
And we went formal. So a lot of us chose, the tweed jackets and the shitty 70s ties and dress shirt. One guy had on a black dress coat and a burgundy turtleneck sweater. And the guy, he's tall. But, I remember we were walking in.
I think you have to be.
Yeah, we were shit for
rock
this
that.
time. We walked into the local bar. It was an Irish place, so it was like a food place, too. And we saw our buddy with his mom. And they're having dinner, and she's like, "Oh, look at these really nice dressed gentlemen coming in." He turned and was like, "Oh my god!" And as we got closer,
it was you guys.
As we got closer, you're just like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, so have a theme, okay? So it says easy way out is have a video game tournament. That's not really a theme for a party.
Yeah,
though,
not really
okay?
a theme.
But I like this one. Use your creativity. Come up with themes like a Vegas night,
which is great.
Club night,
yeah,
okay. Or Nerf gun night.
Which would be way better.
Giant barracks battle Nerf gun.
Throughout the whole barracks?
Oh my god.
You fucking kidding me?
Ammo will be everywhere.
Exactly.
Fucking great. Okay. So this says you can even improve your tactical skills. Number 2.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Get someone to step up out of their comfort zone.
Sounds like an orgy.
You know that guy or gal in your unit who doesn't fit in too well? A barracks party should be a judgment-free zone.
I agree.
And encourage the introverted homeboy or girl to let their guard down a little and break loose. Surprises during a party are a good thing. write that down. So,
On a more serious note, I do like the fact that, and it is true, like, there is some people who are living in the barracks that do keep to themselves a lot. They don't have a lot of friends, but this is a great way for unit cohesion.
Inclusivity.
Inclusivity.
Yep. Inclusiveness.
Inclusivity.
Yeah, but this is a great way because really you can be like a theme and be like, hey, all you gotta do is dress up like this or like this, like whatever, man. I'll help you out. Like here's this. Here's my extra gladiator helmet.
Freaking great way.
Whatever. So
and now you got a dude who or a girl who was feeling very uncomfortable in the unit, didn't feel like part of the team, and now after one night, fucking one team, one fight.
Yep, absolutely. So number 3, it's all about the location. Okay, barracks rooms are typically pretty small, and squeezing a dozen or so people inside can get super congested. To maximize the fun, consider choosing a room on the first floor that has easy access to the community courtyard. Okay, not bad. You do raise the attention, though, or you do raise the problem of alerting other people that you're having this
Rooftop.
Party. Okay, but at least in my days, obviously I was an infantry guy, and like if we were having a party and it was looked too good, then other people were going to definitely try to crash it.
Of course.
And then you're going to have problems. So just be cautious about
There's
that.
always problems when outsiders come to crash.
If it's your own company, that's cool. Your own whatever, but just be careful. So they said spill it over to the community courtyard, which is good because I know a lot of places that I served later in life, like down in Tampa, the courtyards for the dorms, they call them in the Air Force, had like grills and just like community areas as well. You can have some pretty cool things. It will extend your party area and therefore increase the life of the fiesta. You'll thank us later. All right? Now, this goes back to what I just said. Know where the duty is.
Poop.
No. The duty. So, as the saying goes, the duty has no friends. So, the staff duty.
It's true.
Both battalion, brigade,
no matter who
level,
they are.
Got to know where they're at. Critical. This statement is kind of true. Since the different levels of rank of duty each day, make sure you're on good terms with them. They can alert you before the MPs show up unannounced because of a reported disturbance. So the way that we used to take care of this is, the guys that are on staff duty.
Yep.
Either they're from your company or they're from the battalion, but we would take care of them. We would bring them pizza. We would bring them like steak and cheeses.
Peace offerings.
Take care of them. Be like, hey, throwing a party. We're tracking. We'll make sure no under it. We'll do whatever. Here you go.
Yep.
Right? So it goes a little bit of goes a long way.
It does go a long way.
You know what I mean? Just got to take care of it. This is the things you need to take care of. And also make sure you pay them back when you're on duty. So if they're throwing a party,
by not being an asshole. Yeah.
Go right back to it. Okay. Number 5, have good lighting. This is key. I also think this could go back to the theme night too. So
I was thinking about something else, but okay.
Lighting. Lighting is key. But since barracks rooms are small, look into getting a few black or strobe lights to enhance the positive atmosphere. Okay, change it up a little bit. Consider breaking out your glow belts because they do glow. We're talking about PT belts.
They do.
Yeah.
And what could go wrong? If you're wearing a PT belt, you're fucking safe.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
I have witnessed a female service member only wearing a PT belt.
Prove it.
It was covering.
Prove it. Doubt it.
So, yeah. Okay. And put those into good use. That is the case in point. Number 6, develop a new drinking game.
Those are fun.
Create this for your own unit, your own whatever, platoon versus platoon, however it may be. So develop a new drinking game. Beer pong is fun. Everyone knows how to play that. But consider creating a new game to draw people's attentions. You never know your new upside down quarters pong game could take off. And I challenge this a little step further, is go to that introvert, that person that's, kind of keeping to themselves, because they're usually pretty smart. because they don't want to mess with the ruffians.
Yeah, a bunch of nerds.
Right?
Yeah.
So see if they can come up with something and incorporate that. Have a contest.
And like another thing is like, there's so many different drinking games from state to state. And I don't know if you know this about the military, like we come from all over.
Mm-hmm.
So someone from a different state who may not be well in with the crowd, they might have a game from where they're from that you have never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
It's really an educational experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the cohesiveness is just abounds. From this. Number 7, invite those you trust. Party buzzkills suck. No one likes exiting the fun to take care of the sick drunk or a prick that wants to start fights. So invite the people who have good drinking track records. This can be tough if it's an...
Because you don't know everyone.
Yeah, if it's all included, all inclusive, I get that. It might be a little tough. However, you got to protect yourself. You got to... There's only one way to really get to know people, and that's to get them shit-faced.
That's true. That... You laugh, but that's fucking true.
Dead serious, especially in the military. 'Cause that's really how they're going to be when the fucking chips hit the fan.
Yep.
Like, so
I've met plenty of those people who it's like, I will never fucking drink with you again.
Yes.
Or fucking trust you when you're sober.
Or do anything. Yep. Because you've ever heard that where it says a drunk man's words is a sober man's thoughts.
That's true.
I believe it.
It's very true. I've had to make a lot of apologies. Mm-hmm. None of them were very sincere.
Also bought a John Mayer guitar.
Well, that was worth it.
That was charity.
That was worth it.
And finally,
in more ways than one.
So, I'm hesitant on the last one.
Just say it.
Because I don't know if I agree with it or not, especially in today's world.
Say it. Let's have a debate.
Record that shit. Edit that shit.
Nope,
then
I
screen
disagree with that 100%. Don't record fucking anything.
Exactly.
That's a stupid idea.
Exactly.
That's a stupid idea.
It's a lot of fun to see yourself act like a fool. Just be safe, then the footage can get turned in as evidence.
Evidence for what?
Exactly.
What do you want evidence for?
That is all. We don't.
No.
You don't. There's a saying in certain units in the military, and it's called quiet professionals.
Yep.
I think that carries over to...
That's exactly what you want.
Quiet partiers.
Yeah. No, you're 100% correct.
You don't want evidence. If you're living in the moment, put the fucking phone down.
Yeah, if you're living in the moment, then you don't need your fucking phone.
Exactly, because the memories frozen in time, people. You don't need fucking photographic evidence to be used by the staff judge advocate in your court martial.
So I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here, because this is a problem I have with a lot of people nowadays.
Please do.
Is they're so worried about catching shit on photos or videos or fucking whatever they have nowadays. And it's like, they're so worried about catching that shit and posting it so people see how much of a good time they're having that they forget to have a good time. Fucking put that shit down, dude. Put that shit down. Have a great time. You're going to have the memories or whatever. And even if you don't remember it, who gives a fuck? It was a great time. You know you had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about fucking posting shit on social media, because a lot of times it's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah, it will. And it's also...
I've had it happen.
It's also,
I've had it happen before.
It can also be used against you.
In a court of law.
In multiple ways.
Yeah.
And just have a good time. Enjoy the barracks. Enjoy the life. One of the best things I think you can do is have everyone, throw in $20.
Sex cult. Oh. Are you going somewhere else?
It's later.
Oh.
It's afterwards.
Is that a different
What
segment?
you do is everyone throws in $20. Get a keg, get it, whatever you can do. Just like make it easy, make it fun, make it comfortable. Make sure no one's driving. Make sure no one's, having problems. And I could definitely see if this is like a mixed unit, like male female. Definitely a lot harder than when I was in.
Something be a lot harder.
Well, that's the problem, right? I was all guys. We definitely, girls could come on base, but it was different. So look out for each other too. Protect each other.
And if you want to have a real good time, invite the Sergeant Major's daughter.
She's probably already there. In one of the wall lockers.
That's fair. She's probably already there.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, that was...
and remember, just fucking have fun.
Just have fun, man.
Yep.
Because that's what it's all about. You go through so much stupid shit when you're in the military. This is your time to fucking let loose and have a good time. Don't fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you fuck it up for a lot of other people behind, like, that are gonna follow you. That's why there's a lot of stupid fucking rules nowadays.
Yep.
Because people have fucked it up in the past.
And your barracks life is gonna be over so fucking fast. Like,
it is. Yeah, before you know it, you're gonna marry a dependa.
Get promoted.
You can get promoted. You're gonna have like
kicked out.
You're gonna have like
video.
3 shitty kids that suck. Like, enjoy it now because it's gonna go away fast.
Don't be. He's back, dude.
Get out of here.
What the fuck?
Get out of here.
Ooh, that was a good one.
This is our show. He's just like, fuck, that hurt.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be over fast. Enjoy it. Live it. Love it.
How do you get up there, by the way?
Probably crawled this whole time.
I mean, they can fly, but I didn't see anything happen.
Whatever. He's gone now.
That's wild. Anyways, that was... I enjoyed that. That was, as always, your segment is very educational.
You know what sometimes happens at barracks parties?
Fucking.
People go a little crazy.
They do.
They go a little bit off kilter.
What's another word for off kilter?
They go a little bit rogue.
Yeah, they do. You know what else goes rogue?
Privates.
Their rock hard erections. Fucking solid.
Very nice.
Or their moist labias. I don't know. What is that? Is that what they are? Labias? I don't know.
Listen,
is that the word?
Opportunity.
Is that the word for it?
No.
Anyways, next segment, we're privates.
Hi-yo.
Story number 1. Dude in my platoon married a girl he never met in real life. Surprisingly, she turned out to be way out of his league when she came to an org day. I helped him move in to an on-post housing with her 2 weeks before we went to NTC. We come back from NTC, and he finds another guy living in his house. It's like the same story over and over again, but it's different.
But it is different.
Yeah. The guy in my platoon was so distraught/weak that he slept on the couch while his wife and her quote-unquote friend slept in the bed upstairs. They convinced him that they weren't doing anything and that they would all work it out.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me, I'm picturing a guy who's lived on a farm his whole life. He's never really gone anywhere, doesn't really know anything about like opposite sex or relationships, and he's just very naive. And now he's like, oh, like she still loves me. I'll just, we just gotta, there's just a little bump in the road. We'll work it out. It's fine. He realized they wouldn't, in fact, work it out when he found a giant jug of KY jelly under the bed. KY jelly's for sex.
Not sandwiches.
It's not for sandwiches. I mean, I guess it...
No.
No? It's not to slide the hoagie in?
You don't want to eat that sandwich?
Don't tell me what I want to eat.
Peanut butter and KY?
Who says I haven't?
With that mustache, I'm not putting anything past you.
That's true. Who wants a ride? That's actually kind of a sad story.
Yeah.
But what do you expect?
Not that.
What's that? Okay, fair enough. Pretty much anything but that? Yeah, I guess that's fair. But you never met her before.
It's true.
Like, what?
Yeah, but I couldn't even put myself in this. Can't even imagine being in that situation, so it's like...
Honestly, could you imagine putting yourself in that situation when you've never met a girl before and you're like, oh, let's get married? It sounds like a great fucking idea.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no on that. So my wife was an FRG leader and had to deal with all that shit.
Family Readiness Group for all you non-military listeners.
The dependa of a deployed soldier was caught by MPs giving my AWOL soldier, which is absent without leave, which is also not good. She was caught giving him a blowjob in her car in front of her house while a coked up gangbang was happening in her government housing. It just kept escalating.
Yeah.
It just kept escalating.
And who were the gangbang?
Oh, man. It started with FRG, which in itself is just a terrible fucking program, I think. It's just a bunch of wives, or spouses, sorry.
I get the premise behind it.
But it's terrible, because it just turns into a rumor mill.
Yeah. Dangerous.
So she was caught by the MPs giving a blowjob in her car to an
AWOL soldier who was no longer
AWOL soldier.
Well,
now I know why he's AWOL.
They know where he's at.
Yeah. How long was that blowjob if he was AWOL?
32 days.
In front of her house in a car while a coked up gangbang was happening in her government house. So this gangbang was so large that there was no room for her to give this dude a blowjob inside her house.
Yeah. Well, they wanted some privacy. So a car in the front. Out front.
Fucking probably in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't do coked up parties at night. That's what sleeping for.
That's true because you got to sleep.
Come on now.
You got to be responsible. You got to be responsible.
Yeah, come on.
Had a dude in my platoon that was a specialist that had married a girl 1 week after her divorce from a captain.
Huh.
He was raising the captain's kid, and she found out she was pregnant right before deployment. We get home, he catches her banging another dude. The dude was a PV2, which is a private.
Just going the opposite direction.
From another battalion. It was like she was making her way down some fucked up ladder.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought, I was like, this chick is like the Benjamin Button of military cheating. She's going backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. That PV2 has a fucking Mustang with 29% interest.
That's true.
He's got no money.
That's true. Yeah. But they can still ride around.
Then they're going to get married, and then she's got 2 kids.
Well, they can't ride around because gas is expensive, so they can just sit in it.
Yeah. Yeah, which is where the blowjobs come in.
So now she's got 2 kids, and she's giving blowjobs outside of a coked-up gangbang outside of her house. I feel like those stories have to be connected in some way.
It's too much coincidental evidence not to be.
Yeah. That's it, man. That's the stories that I got.
Well, those were, I want to say, they were good, but they're depressing.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it down.
Yeah,
I feel like we laughed too much here. I wanted to make people sad.
Yeah, but listen, people.
Bring it in tight.
That's the truth. That happens. It's happening right now.
It's happening right.
On a military base near you.
Some private is getting a beeger from a captain's wife right now in front of government housing.
Well, didn't mean that. Like, actual, like...
You didn't mean the physical thing?
No, I meant
I still stand by what I said. Okay. I still feel like that's happening.
Okay. But what I mean is, rogue dependas, rogue privates, happening right now.
Day in, day out.
Yeah.
It really is like it's just a thing that happens.
I'm gonna also break this down for a sec here.
Do it.
Okay. She may be very attractive. Or he may be very attractive.
Yep. Which makes it worth it. Is that what you're gonna say?
They may be showing you things of their body that you've never seen before. But if they're showing you those things in government housing...
They have also shown other people those things in government housing.
There's a reason they're in government housing. And you don't want to start that karma train.
Unless they're not in your chain of command. And then...
Even if they're not in your chain of command, because that means they're off doing their job somewhere. And
Listen.
You don't want to be in that karma train.
Didn't we... Okay. I hear what you're saying. Devil's advocate. We just talked about barracks life. And do we not just say enjoy the time that you have in the barracks?
In the barracks.
Okay. Government housing is sometimes close to the barracks.
Correct. So are all the ladies outside or all the dudes outside.
But you have to go outside the base. You got to deal with fucking gate guards when you come in.
It's called
like
karma. You do that, something bad will happen to you in the future.
Listen.
Positive about it.
I didn't get to where I am today by worrying what's going to happen to me tomorrow. Okay?
I can tell. If there's one thing I know about you, it's that.
That's fair. I guess we'll just fucking move on. What I want to say is just do what makes you happy. And if that's getting a blowjob from a captain's wife outside of their housing while a gangbang goes on inside their house involving a bunch of cocaine.
Just don't be AWOL.
Just don't go AWOL. Yeah. You'll be fine.
A lot of paperwork. Don't be doing that.
Yeah. When you go AWOL, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting others because they have to worry about the paperwork that's involved. Is that the message you were trying to send?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're on the same page.
Okay. Should we go to mail call?
I think that's what's next, right?
I think so in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Long-time listener, long-time supporter, Chucko has written in. He has a plethora of. We've known him as the Forrest Gump of our booties.
He really is.
Kind of been everywhere and kind of seen things that just kind of happened.
Whether he realizes it or not. Yeah.
So he writes in and says, "Revenge is a dish best served dusty." It was a summer.
Well, that's not how the saying goes.
No, but that's how his saying goes.
Okay.
It was the summer of 2000. We had just returned from Bosnia. Other members of I and BCO 431 were put on some delightful details. The detail I got placed on was to chauffeur field-grade brass that wanted to observe the new advanced warfighter technology field-tested at Fort Drum. However, one day holds a special place in my heart and mind. I got assigned to chauffeur the Force Com commander and his aide. So that's a very high-level 4-star general who's in charge of a lot of shit, basically every command inside of the United States, Force Com.
Yeah.
And his aide. We were in a Hummer. He's not giving a Hummer.
I don't mean to interrupt. Chucko is like the definition of a made man.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. He was in a Hummer, not receiving a Hummer from a captain's wife. Definitely so.
We can just skip the story then.
Behind a 12-passenger van that contained the division commander, Army Chief of Staff, and Secretary of Defense.
Jesus Christ, Chucko.
Yeah. Behind us in this massive convoy was the 1st Brigade Commander, Colonel Stevens. Colonel Stevens used to be the commander of 431. And he was the biggest cockbag.
I love that that's the only name he uses, and he's like, fuck that guy. Thank you, Chucko.
He says he would go out of his way to fuck over soldiers. For example, we were conducting a trench live fire range in 97. He requires all companies to perform an 8-mile movement through the Jurassic Park section of the field before completing the live fire portion, and an additional 2-mile movement for exfil. After a long shitty night, we arrived at the tent to conduct the AAR. We go into this tent, and there stands Lieutenant Colonel in his freshly pressed BDUs and well-rested fuckface staring at us as we entered. The AAR concluded, and he pointed out that none of us took out a notebook and pencils to take notes. I actually was there for that.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I've been through that before, and fuck, yeah.
Yep.
Fuck Colonel Stevens.
What a cockbag. So back to the convoy. We're driving down the range roads, and I can barely see the passenger van in front of us because of the dust being kicked up. Somehow, I saw the side of the van positioned across the roadway and to bring us to a complete stop before plowing into the side of the van. General Hendricks looked at me and said, "Son, you just prevented a disaster," because I didn't see them. Before I could say thank you, the Hummer was slammed into by another Hummer. I quickly checked to see if my 4-star passenger and his aide were okay, and then jumped out to assess. I think he said ass. It's like asses. To assess.
to asses. Yeah. Jump out to asses.
Yeah. To assess the damage of my Hummer. and the one that rear-ended us. Before I knew it, I had Colonel Stevens in my face, blaming me for the accident, demanding to know who my commander was. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see General Hendricks coming around the passenger side of the Hummer. I could hear, I am his commander today, Colonel. Oof. Colonel Stevens quickly turned around and saluted. Colonel, you are the TC of your vehicle, and this accident is your fault. My driver just avoided colliding with the dignitary van due to his driving abilities. So if you want to blame anyone for this preventable accident, you don't need to look far. Colonel Stevens stood there and looking dumbfounded. I looked at his Hummer leaking fluid all over the range road. Then I looked up at him, snapped to attention, gave him a salute, saying, "Polar bear, sir," before getting back in my Hummer. The rest of the day was uneventful. As I took the general and his aide to the airfield to catch their flight, General Hendricks handed me a coin and told me I did a good job. I drove back to the detail HQ and told the guys what happened to Colonel Stevens. The ones who had served under him treated me like a legend for being able to give him a big fuck you from all the Joes he'd ever fucked over.
That's fucking great.
It's a pretty good story.
Yeah, it's a story about vindication.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just
karma.
Shoving it right up his ass.
Karma.
Well, he shoved it right up his own ass, really.
Yeah, karma. It happens. Good.
It always eventually happens.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you... This was a great story of you witnessing the karma that happens. Sometimes you don't witness it, but just know, guys
it happens.
And gals,
it happens somewhere.
Yes.
Just give it faith. Give faith. All you have to do is light the E4 Mafia karma candle. It's got like the guy in combat dress with the skull, like opening his arms to protect you.
Yep.
And you light the candle. Say, protect me, Mafia.
And then it works out.
And it works out.
That's right. Those range roads do suck, though.
For some reason, that candle smells like kiwi, boot polish. It's just like black.
Yeah. Fucking terrible, deep black smoke that you're breathing in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, range roads suck.
They're the worst.
Especially a drum in the summertime.
Yeah.
Fucking gross. So much dust. You wouldn't think it, but it's so much fucking dust.
So much dust.
Yeah.
Yep. I've had it wasn't in drum, it was that we were actually training in Canada, so fucking like as close to drum as you can get. We were driving on range roads in HIMARS vehicles. I think I might have told this story before.
This is the beer one?
Beer?
Where they're like, you want a beer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So fucking two HIMARS, which are multi-million-dollar vehicles, crashed into each other because of dust on the road, and just completely totaled both. So like
dust. Killer.
Yeah, unfuck yourselves,
brutal,
range roads.
Unfuck yourself, range roads. Yeah, wet that shit down, Army.
That's what I'm saying.
Wet that shit
Spit
down.
on it a little bit.
Tar that shit
Yeah,
down.
you gotta spit on it before you throw it in, right?
Heard that.
You should also do it. You should do it.
Yeah.
You don't just have to hear it.
I've heard it before.
You should also do it.
I don't do it.
You don't spit on it?
No, I have people that do that.
That's weird.
Is it?
Who spits on it?
You, as a person with a sophisticated mustache like that, should realize that you have people that will do things for you.
I'm also a doer.
Okay.
I like to.
giver?
I like to have. I've been actually told I'm a giver, which is a super fucking high compliment, by the way.
The IRS doesn't count.
What's up?
The IRS doesn't count.
Oh. Anyways.
Go on.
Yeah, the IRS told me I was sexually a giver.
All right.
What was I even talking about? Where we go from there?
Oh, we're talking about who spits on it. You have people that do that now.
Yeah, no. I like for my partner to feel like I'm invested.
Okay.
So I like to do my own spitting.
I want you to rewind
in
it.
their mouth.
Go back to story of before.
Yes.
Where the sandwiches were made from.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
So make them a sandwich?
Yes.
And then spit on the sandwich?
Touch the sting of the spit a little bit. Here's a sandwich.
Why'd you fucking hawk a loogie in my eye? They wipe it off.
Bologna?
You're just holding a fucking sandwich.
Salami and cheese?
Well, now the spit doesn't feel so bad.
That's prosciutto.
If it's not Swiss or prosciutto, fucking throw that shit out.
Muffaletta? Here you go. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Anywho.
Choco, as always,
Thank you, sir.
fucking legend, the Forrest Gump.
Keep sending them in, my friend.
If you want to be like Choco, you can, A,
And you fucking should.
be a legend, and B, send in some fucking stories, right? Let us know what you did when someone got fucked over in your area.
You want me to tell them where they can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do so at wilcomediapro.com/BTB podcast. That's where you can submit your story. Mm-hmm. And like we've said in previous episodes, you don't have to submit just a story if you have a suggestion.
No.
If you do have a story, but you want us to add to like a segment, like a Rogue Privates or Barracks Stories or whatever, fucking just let us know. Let us know where you want it. Fucking send us a story, and we are like prostitutes. We will do as you please. For a
money?
price.
Yeah.
For a price of free.
Let's back up.
We are like
your support.
We are like a free prostitute. Like we are like if you have a coupon for a prostitute.
Lost me. But anyway, I'd like
I was never good in analogies.
Thank Big Dick Nick and the entire Wilco Media family.
Yep.
The famille.
Familia.
Thank you for everything you do, for letting us do what we do, supporting what you do.
What?
See how I did that?
I don't.
It's a sandwich.
I don't get it.
Back.
He just made a sandwich.
Brought it back. Tell you about sandwiches. Okay.
Also, don't forget to tune in to us, wherever you find podcasts, Thursdays at noon. And if you want to watch us and see this glorious, magnificent stash I have on top of my upper lip,
you can do that.
you can do that on YouTube at Wilco Media. And if you want to subscribe to Wilco Media on YouTube, you can do that as well.
You should.
And I will take requests as to what my mustache will look like from episode to episode.
Yes. Correct. But overall,
But
thank you.
just remember, if you request a Hitler,
Ain't happening.
it's I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen. It's just gonna take me a while to grow it back to do other things. So just be careful what you wish for.
Once you trim, you can't regrow that fast.
Yeah, it takes a minute.
It
takes me about 4 days.
Yeah, but thank you for what you do.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening as always, and we will see you next week. Stupid.
Chucko, laying the fucking heat, dropping some names. That dude also became a 4-star general.
Did he really?
Yep.